slow down. Well, greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical. Obviously, I'm walking Mason. We're about, I don't know, a couple miles in, so I'm out of breath. Sorry about that. Little secret, this is just, I don't know, 2.5 weeks since I smoked my last cigarette, so trying to fix myself. I've been thinking about South Africa and some of the issues I've covered a long time ago that may need readdressing as the situation deteriorates. Mason, slow down. You're choking yourself. He's in a hurry to get to the end so we can play Frisbee. But I was thinking, I get a lot of folks that want to know, hey, how can I protect myself? With the laws that they have in Africa, South Africa. Come on, this way. With the strict laws and no, come here. That's all muddy. Come here, up here. That's yucky. Up. And, everything's always in favor of the assholes. If you're a minority person, a white person in South Africa, and you defend yourself, you're going to lose in court, more than likely. So people ask me, well, what are we supposed to do? We can't have guns in the house. We can't do this. We can't do that. And that's all true. So you're limited, and I admit that. And I'm going to say some of the things I've said long ago because I know I got new subscribers. But, look, I wonder if I can reverse this camera with the recording. Am I still recording? I think so. And if I'm not, I'll just use it as a practice session. But here's the deal. On the weapon issue, I get it. You either have weapons, firearms, which is rare, or they're old and they're single shot or double shot shotgun, better than nothing. Or you're trying to get a weapon and you can't, or you got BB guns or pellet guns or airsoft guns. And I'm going to tell you something about that. For those that haven't thought of this, and I know a lot of you have, if you can't get a real firearm, there's a lot of lethality that can be utilized in a BB gun or a pellet gun or an airsoft gun or a paintball gun. You just have to use your imagination. Think of how the human body works and what it would take to stop 1 or 6 people coming through your doorway with the intention of hacking you to pieces and raping your children. Well, you should be pretty motivated in that scenario. And I'm going to tell you that chances are they have, pretty decent firearms. So you need to basically get possession of one of their firearms as quick as possible. And the way I would do it, and I know it's easy to talk about and it's a different thing when you're doing it, but we're talking survival here. I would have, let's just say you got an airsoft gun. That's all you have. It's all you can afford, or that's all you have. So you load that sucker up, and these things move, I think, at a minimum at least 400 feet a second. And let's just say you're blasting the first guy through the door. You just unload in full auto right in his fucking head, right in his face. If you're lucky, you knock an eye or two out. And believe me, the airsoft guns will do that. And if you're not lucky enough to knock an eye out, how do you think that feels, getting 30 or 40 or 60 airsoft plastic BBs in the face? And while that's happening, he can't aim and shoot while he's guarding his face. And the natural reaction is to cover your face. Somebody else in the family could be designated to be the guy that removes the weapon from him and blows his brains out and then starts working on the other guys. You can do the same with a BB gun. You can do the same with a paintball gun. You can freeze paintballs. They're not very accurate, but you're only talking a few feet when you're shooting inside a house toward a doorway. It's a choke point. You know where they're at. So, how about some ball bearings? How about some big ass ball bearings? Instead, use your imagination. So there's lots of ways we can talk about improvised weaponry and self-defense tools. But what about the commandment, thou shalt not kill? Wait a minute. Is this what I thought it was? Thought I found an arrowhead. You always got to keep your eyes open around here. So I know that a lot of you are devout Christians, and that's beautiful. Let me see something here. Hang on. Getting foggy here. It's the humidity. And so a lot of people I've talked to get stuck on the, well, you know, we're not supposed to kill people. Look, you can believe what you want to believe, but hopefully you'll do what I did and you'll go back and read the actual translation of the original language of the Bible, the Aramaic, if I'm pronouncing that right, language. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill. It says thou shalt not murder. And you need to understand there's a fundamental difference between murdering somebody and killing somebody. I think God knew and knows, and people since the first people knew and understood that there are times when human beings need to be killed. You know, and there's various scripture that says as much. But I'll leave it to you, people that spend more time on the Bible than I do. But make sure you're comfortable with the meaning of the term kill versus murder. And when you kill to protect yourself or family or other innocent people, you're not murdering anybody. You're killing to stop an action. And I think that's perfectly sanctioned and justified by the Bible. But, you know, that's as far as I'll go on that. The next thing I get often is, well, you know, Mike, it's easy to say that, but if we kill somebody who's breaking in to dismember us, torture us, and rape our babies, we'll go to jail. Now think of how that sounds to an outsider. I get the conundrum that you think you have, but I offer you this way of thinking. What are your choices? Think about it. Step outside the personal box and think about this. Do I let the people in to torture, rape, sodomize, and murder my children and myself? Or do I stop that action and risk going to jail? People, it's like they said in Full Metal Jacket. I think the drill instructor said something like, and this is so true, it's not the gun that kills, it's the hard heart. You have got to have it in your heart ahead of time that you are completely comfortable, not that you want to, but that you're comfortable carrying out the deed in the event that somebody forces your hand. And I submit to you that anybody that's willing to come into your house forcibly and rape and torture, what the hell is this? You know, your family, that those people they've forfeited their right to any compassion. And if your laws are being enforced by criminals, which in the case of South Africa, I think that's true, then I believe that you should not adhere to illegal laws. You know, if you know that calling the police is going to get you arrested for protecting yourself, I'd have a pre-dug hole somewhere in the neighborhood, and in the dark of night, I would dump the bodies of those assholes that came into my house to harm me and my family, and forget that they ever existed. Not tell anybody. You're talking life or death. And eventually, just like here in the U.S., if for some reason Trump doesn't win the election and these communists force our hand, things are going to have to get bloody here. And we're going to have contingency plans. And I do. Up to and including, what do we do with the bodies? I made a video back during the Obama years. It's still on this channel. Just do a search. I think it's called, What Do We Do With the Bodies? And it was about this very subject. But all right, where am I at here? Okay, oops. Yeah, so this thing stopped recording a little, I don't know what happened. I hit a wrong button or something, but I'm here. Mason, yucky, don't do that. So I'm gonna play with the boy here, play Frisbee with him, but hopefully you got that message. It made sense. I know it was kind of a random quick video, but yeah. You know, you got to think, you got to get that hardened heart, you know. Doesn't mean you're a freaking killer or a murderer just because you have to think about taking. But listen, if you want to survive, it just comes down to how bad do you want to survive. You're going to have to start getting in your head that you might have to stick your thumb in somebody's eye and pull it out. Nobody wants to do that unless you're a nutcase. But if you're not capable and if you haven't pre-thought this shit, you're going to stall and hesitate at the moment of need, and your family's going to suffer and you're going to suffer. And it's all about survival, man. So be safe out there, and know that I'm thinking about you. LMS Tactical, I'm out.